Welcome back, everyone, to session 2 of season 3 for Pandemonium. As we are getting near the War for Kata arc, we've heroes have just gotten back from probably one of their most daring missions ever. They were infiltrated behind the kind of the lines of Kata, and were able to rescue. Rescue the Duchess from the Giant King, but now they kind of were able to spend some time recruiting, as well as why am I getting so much feedback? Oof. Well, hopefully that's good. With spend some time recruiting, as well as kind of just spending some time to kind of go about their own ends. Now, though, they are preparing to go to a gala posted by the King of Ascenta to help the kind of the forces of Kata recruit more of the nobles of Fessia, as well as those who may have stock within the islands to bring their forces to bear to join with the Duke Royce and hopefully take back the lands. He had mentioned during the last session as well that he had burned some bridges with the nobles right after Kata was taken by the Giant King, and he will need your assistance to help kind of mend those bridges. So he'll be leaning on you to hopefully bring in some of these nobles and recruits, along with Corinius and the Adamantium Renegades, to hopefully bring enough resources to aid the retaking of Kata. We're going to pick up the day before, because one of the other things that's going to be happening too is you all knew during the mission to rescue the Duchess, the Baron of Kata, Duke Lesse Royce's father, fell. And some would say under suspicious circumstances, but Pericles, the kind of pretty much the diplomatic lead for Kata, has said that there will be a crowning, and you guys have been invited to watch Duke Lesse Royce be crowned and become the Baron, as well as help strategize for kind of regaining the island of Kata, along with kind of making sure that everything is in line for the gala, and figuring out why there is a new Shadow Drake following Mockery around. But we'll pick up kind of the morning of the gala. Is there anything big you guys want to, or morning of the crowning? Is there anything big you guys want to do?
I know we sort of discussed having a intervention for Mockery. I don't know if we ever came to a specific decision on that or not.
Yeah, do we know yet?
Well, there's obviously a Shadow Drake that Mockery's been trying to corral and keep from like getting into stuff.
Right. Gotcha.
So there's clearly stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, if we have a new member of the Gavel, he needs to fill out all the proper paperwork and make sure that all his details are in order.
Is there paperwork for the? Is it capable of? Because did Bear have to?
Would Belric be able to tell at a glance that this is a corrupt Drake with his nature, with his knowledge of nature, or is it apparent to everybody in the group this isn't natural?
It definitely has an unnatural look. You guys have seen riding drakes before in Eteria, but this one, just between kind of the shadowy hue, the multiple sets of eyes, and kind of the red nature behind the eyes, it does not look like kind of any natural drake.
If I could add something to that, I would like to. I was thinking about this for a little while, and just its behavior in my mind, just in the short time it's been here, has at best I can describe as inconvenient. I imagine because Hyena was a good dog, didn't get into stuff too much. This one's the complete opposite, so I imagine it's caused quite a bit of a ruckus just by kind of existing, being large, getting into things. I imagine because it's also like a writing drake, it has some of that draconic tendency, so it's taking stuff. Like I I kind of imagine it like picking a book up with its mouth and just hauling it somewhere with that. If y'all have ever seen a Komodo dragon walk, that kind of walk cycle,
Mhm.
like yoinks the book, takes it somewhere, it's never seen again.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I would imagine like at in the morning we would all kind of meet up and I don't know if
See
it's for
that.
breakfast or what, but yeah, Bear would immediately like kind of start growling, and I think I would just like straight up ask like, "That's new. Uh, where did you get this?"
I imagine Mockery's just like making this plate for breakfast, and looking up, and like, oh, this. He points to his clothes. Yes, I visited a tailor. I think it looks quite nice on you.
I'll point to the corner where the dragon's like the drake is like making a mess and probably knocking things over. I go, "No, that."
Oh, there you are! Smokey would jump on the thing just to like get it into the like the pet cache. I was looking for it. That's not his voice. I was looking for it for hours last night. It snuck away from me.
What
Thank you.
is that? Mockery?
I was told it was a drake.
You were told it was a drake. You're not sure.
When I imagine a drake, I imagine something very noble and prideful. This was more of a dog than hyena.
Interesting. And do you know where this thing came from? It looks, frankly, terrifying.
About that. See, takes a moment, holds up a finger, and takes a long sip of what you assume to be an alcoholic beverage. So, I did what me and Cheat agreed to, and I got a new member of the Chaos Knights.
Oh. The Drake is a member of the Chaos Knights.
Technically, I assume yes. But to describe, I spent a week gambling, which was enough for and you see him mutter a word like a name, and you already immediately know what the name is. A certain starry-eyed individual. He gave me a drink for it.
Wait, hold on. I thought that you were trying to distance yourself from Shinzo Z. Is that no longer the plan?
Particularly after the difficulties he created for us in our previous mission.
It's complicated, and my feelings are in a constant turmoil over it. Like a storm, like a twister, like. And you see him just sigh. When I was offered a drink, I did not want to turn it down because it's a drake. It's a riding drake. I mean, it's a pair of limbs short of a dragon.
Listen, I understand it looks very dope, but like, hold on just a moment. Like, Will starts like pacing back and forth.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Just like doing this motion, like, hold on. But you accepting more gifts from Shinzo Z? I thought we were trying to get away from Shinzo Z. Did you have to do something for this?
Well, he mentioned that gambling, I guess, brought Shinzo Z's favor. So if that's the only thing, I mean, that's not a big. You know, people gamble all the time. So as long as there's no other favors that we now owe Shinzo Z, then I suppose that seems like a pretty fair arrangement.
The entire time Wisteria is talking, he's taking a long sip of the same beverage. And there's a certain weight that falls onto him after that, less comical. He was talking about this dragon. There was clearly still a sense of, yeah, it's a fucking dragon, but now his face becomes serious. He sets the drink down. He sits down. I have been thinking.
All right.
Did you cut out?
Where do I even begin? Oh. When I joined the Gavels, I was a follower of the infernal gods. I was devout, and I fought for them. Then I also fought for the Gavels. I fought long and hard even before I met you lot. I was on a pilgrimage. And it wasn't until I met the Gavels that I ever had the thought, what am I besides a follower of the infernal gods? I thought myself honorable, noble, just. And I have found that without the main four, I am not. Without their guidance, the gifts that drive to impress them, to gain their favor, their attention, what have I done? I have sought more. I've grown ambitious. I've thought darker and darker thoughts. And I've pressed towards darker and darker paths. I thought that even without the gods, I was a Gavel. But let's be true. Since my connection with Simjozi, I've barely been considered one. And that made me sorrowful, but it also made me think. What are the Gavels? I'm sorry if it sounds a bit tangential, but to really tell you what I'm thinking, I don't know what I want anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. I thought I knew, but when it was challenged and broken, when my ambitions, one of my few wants in life, to unite the Hells was proven a falsehood, a lie that I told myself. That one of the very gods I chased after was nothing more than a farce. Something I built up in my own mind, Shinzo.
Oh.
That these things I don't know anymore. I don't know what I want. But I also look at the Gavels and I don't know what we are anymore either. So why not? Why not explore? Why not try new things? Because we are not an organization for order.
All
Look
right.
at us.
Interesting.
No, really, look at us. What have we done? I don't mean to say that's the only good we've accomplished, but the only good without such massive sacrifice or drawbacks was fighting the followers of Issei. That's the worst of the worst. We can't get much lower than that. We fought cultists, we saved the town, and then we fucked the political landscape of Eteria. I was a part of it. I will not deny that. So we as Gavels. We stole the Emperor's body, tried to play politics, entered a tournament and ended up owing to a god most of us were opposed to at the time.
Okay. So you are choosing now to lean into your connection to Shinzo Z rather than fight against it, is what you're saying?
I don't want to argue against you, but yes, it would appear so. I don't like it. Truth, it feels antithetical to me. I almost hate it, but I don't know what else to do. But it also feels good and right.
This would be a good one because Jeet. I figured you guys would do the intervention for Mockery, so I did ask Jeet if he had any words for the the intervention for Mockery, and he was able to include some. So you guys do see Austin kind of walk up with a kind of a scroll of paper, and he hands it to you, Mockery. You see Austin kind of walk up. He notices you all are in a pretty touchy conversation, so he doesn't linger, but you just see him go, Agni-Jeet wanted you to read this. He's currently with the Phalanx doing some maneuvers with the Kingsmen or the Dukesmen, but he figured that this may occur and he wanted you to read his words. And Mocker, you find on a piece of paper, kind of in Jeet's handwriting. I'm not sure what Jeet's handwriting looks like. I should have asked him that. But you do see kind of written across these words. Jeet says, I know your heart is good, but there comes a time when association itself is corrupting. You now think within the framework that Shinzo sets for you. You consider his options and make decisions on his terms. Your road to hell is paved with good intentions, but it is taking you to hell. And the only thing that might save you is that all of us who care about you can see clearly where that road goes. Search yourself, past the pride, past the debts. Come to us, the Gavels, and the people of Kazuya who need you. It kind of sounded sincerely your friend, Jeet.
Mocker reads this long sigh. He sets it down on the table, face up, so anyone else can read it as well.
Mockery, do you want to be a part of the Gavel?
The fact that he doesn't answer immediately is damning in itself. But he finally speaks up and says, I felt that the Gavel were my family. That has been challenged, and I feel fractured in a way. It's harder to believe in the Gavel right now.
But
It's harder to believe because what we've done. He stumbles for a moment before just gesturing to everyone. Are we doing the right thing? Is the Gavel's good? Are we good? We're definitely not honorable. We try to be, in some respects.
All right. I don't know if the Gavel of Ivacera has been doing a good job recently. I can't answer that. Truly, I think we have messed up some serious things, and we've also done a lot of good. Whether or not that makes us good, I suppose, is up for the gods to decide. What I do want to think a little bit, what I have to think about is like, what am I going to do next, right? What am I going to do to try to make the world a better place, which is what I am intending to do. So I need to know if you are intending to align yourself with Shinzo Z even further and abandon your quest to dissolve that connection, then I need to know, because I have a feeling that you, and he also just gestures at everybody else. In fact, all of us are probably going to be quite powerful people at some point. I can see the sort of trajectory we're going. We are accumulating allies and gaining power and stuff. We have all gotten much stronger in these past few months. So I think you are going to be a powerful person one day. So if you're going to be doing this, I need to be preparing to stop you.
Mockery, what do you want?
I already told you I don't even know what I want anymore. But I feel I sacrificed all my connection to all that held me accountable.
And what did you get in exchange?
If you excuse the wordplay, damnation.
Aye.
All right.
Or
And see,
it'll speak up.
here's the thing. I don't think that's a bad thing for you. As in, I don't think you say that with bad connotations. I think you're excited about the damnation, which is my whole problem.
I wasn't at first. I wasn't at first. But to see how quickly the gods that I so fervently defended turned against me, to be ostracized from all that I held dear, including those. I'm not insulted or upset by the fact that you have said one day you will face against me, Will. In fact, if that is what it must take you, I accept and welcome it. But I don't think that changes from me being dedicated to Sinja or not, but to you in particular.
Right.
Because I was going to fight for one world, one empire. And I don't think you were. You made it clear you weren't.
Right.
So one day, those were going to conflict. It's, again, wordplay. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I want to I look around at like the other two, like, what? What's happening? All right. So I suppose I need to be, I can't be, Will is like once again like doing that. He's like pacing back and forth, looking at the ground, like talking to himself. I can't be here. I need to be gathering allies. I need to go. I need to be gaining power. I need to be doing research. I need to be doing something. I can't.
Mockery strides up, puts a gentle hand on Will's shoulder.
Your research is in the notes of Hysteria. You have known me. You do know my weaknesses. You definitely know my strengths. If we come to blows, you will do well. And I hope we do not. But I have accepted for a long time that was possible with the members of the Gavel.
Why
As
are
much
you
as I-
two giving up so easily? Like, we can solve this. There is a way forward. Look, Mockery, earlier you said you don't know who you are. You're trying to figure out who you are. I know who you are. You're someone who saved that kid from the undead. You're someone who enjoyed the cooking of Boro. You're someone who makes me laugh. You're someone who loved taking care of his dog. There's so much more to you than the infernal gods, but they keep trying to hide that part of you. They keep trying to show you that you're nothing without them, but I know that's not true. Shinzo Z has caused nothing but problems for us, and for you more than anyone. But for you to just give up and accept what he's forced you into, that's not Mockery. You've spent your whole life trying to find a place where you fit in, standing up to those who reject you, and being yourself despite what society tells you. So why are you going to let Shinzo Z do the same thing to you? You're a gavel. And if the gavel isn't the right place for you to be, then I don't think that's the real you.
He takes his
Don't
hand
give
off.
up on this.
He takes his hand off Will's shoulder, looks to Wisteria.
Then, here, in Kata, the Republic of Phasia, show me that the Gavels, this organization, is worth it. Because as is, we're looking at 2 members leaving.
He points to Will, and he points to where Jeet's chair would be.
We look at our deeds. We just helped regicide. I called it. I guessed it correctly. I put it all together in my head. We just helped that. And that was called, by Jeet, an act akin to Shinzo, the Chaos Knights. But it was what was done. What was done to bring order here.
There is no universal definition of right and wrong. Regicide as a concept might be wrong, but maybe it's right in this context, and we just don't have enough information to know one way or the other. We're not involved in the politics to the degree that everyone else is. And you're never going to have enough information to know if anything is right or wrong. But that doesn't mean we get to just ignore all of it and walk away. The infernal gods might have corrupted your perception of things, but I'm not going to give up on you. And if you have no choice but to continue doing what you think is wrong, and the only right thing for Will to do and Jeet is to leave, well, I'd rather become evil than give up on you. But I will not stop until you recognize that you belong here with us, and that's better than anything Shinzo Z can offer you.
You can definitely see there's confliction in him. He's pacing now, his hooves clicking upon the ground. He's leaving a slight bit of a mark with them too, I imagine, just due to sheer weight, just almost cracking the ground as he paces back and forth. And he grabs his chair and probably yeets it against the wall, if it's a wall, or through the tent if it was a tent, and just says,
I had made a decision. I had come to a decision. Why did you... I had certainty for the first time in weeks, months. And now
Certainty that you were going to leave the gavel, leave me, that's the only thing you've been certain about in the past couple months?
No. I was going to make an offer.
What kind of offer?
A bet, really.
he puts his hands on the table. They're trembling slightly, but his eyes are sharp.
If we can prove the Gavels are an organization for order, and we're actually helping people, doing the right thing, that the Gavels as an organization is succeeding and we're doing it, then I'd be willing to stay with them. But if it turns out not to be the case, I feel as though the members who are with the Gavel who joined it for that very purpose. Many of them will leave. And I would offer, in that case, that the Gavels fail, that its organization, its faction, and its members be integrated and absorbed into the Chaos Knights.
Belric is gonna, who's usually doesn't get into this, he's gonna spit in the corner when he hears that, and it's gonna be like a loud and exasperated like when he offers that. Hound, you're in no place to be making these offers or to be making these deals with us. We came up with edicts for the gavel on the way here, and we've followed them to the best of our ability. We've protected the weak. We've fulfilled our contracts, and we're trying to strengthen connections with diverse folks. We've done that since we've created our edicts, and we've been in Fessia. For you to offer this and to go behind our backs, and after Will had made this sacrifice to get Shinzo off our back, and for you to double down on this is nothing short of treachery. I've hunted with you, my friend, and I've battled and bled with you as a brother. I don't have the relationship Wisteria does with you, but I can't let somebody who's willing to turn their back on the gavel, turn their back on the infernal gods for a while, bring more chaos to this faction.
I just freed myself from Shinzo Z, 24 hours ago?
And we have bounties. Codinia and Lord Axar are after us because of the sacrifices Will made to get rid of Shinzo, to get rid of this bond.
A sacrifice I asked all of you to make with me, unfortunately, and I appreciate it.
And we were behind Will, and Gavel's behind Will. You are not behind Will, and you're not behind the Gavel. If you're willing to make additional deals and put us further in debt with someone we're trying to get rid of.
I cannot continue to be aligned if you are going to lean into your connection to this most evil of beings. I think at this moment, Rashanael takes over him. Like, he does like a shiver, and suddenly his eyes are glowing a little brighter gold. And you just hear, "We have tolerated your chaos long enough, beast." And then he like sort of shakes his head again. "Give me a moment." All right, we're handling it, okay?
Mockery, I'm with Wisteria. You're not beyond saving, but
We can't save you if you leave.
Do you hear what everyone is saying? There is no option for you to stay with us and have us absorbed into the Chaos Knights. Your options are abandon Shinzo Z or abandon us.
He actually took the time to listen to everyone. His eyes at this point are closed, and again his body shivers in that way when things and the weight of things just are on you. He opens his eyes again, looks up. You see him go to speak something, as if another point, as if to counter, but something in him keeps him. He opens his mouth, closes it a few times, just looks down.
I'll kind of turn to Wisteria and Will and say like this, like after like not getting a response, like I think that's the response that's a response in itself, right?
Yeah.
But I will turn to him and I'll turn to the group and just say the gavel is bigger than the 5 of us, and he'll turn to Jeet's empty chair. We now have a faction and groups and a following, and we have a chance to make a difference in this world. Like we can't be bogged down. We can't just continue to have Shinzo Z negatively impact whatever we're trying to do, and we noticed like how detrimental that was when we were dropping into Fessia on our last mission.
I think that we have our answer. There is now a shadow creature among us. Out of courtesy for the connection that we've had, there's a if this was a movie, there would be a flashback to the first time Will sort of tentatively reached out to put his hand on Mockery's back, because at that time it was kind of causing his hand to sizzle most of the time.
Yeah.
And out of courtesy for our friendship that we have had, Will's looking at the ground as he says this. I will give you a day, but I will be sending a message to the Duke that there is a follower of Shinzo Z, unabashed, looking to cause chaos in our ranks among us. I will give you a day.
Wisteria just visibly trembling, but not saying anything.
Elric will nod along with Will and he'll just say, I suggest you keep that hideous beast out of the view of people at the camp, or else they'll suspect exactly what Will's about to tell them.
Mockery leans back to stand at his full height and looks to Will.
You were my first friend. You made it known so. But you also...
And he takes a single step forward towards Will.
I think
Made
we
it
would actually
known.
take a step back when you do that. And actually, you know what? I'm going to cast a spell, not an aggressive spell, but hold on. I'm just looking up what it's called. I'm going to cast Angelic Wings on myself. It's a focus point spell, and the golden wings are all going to erupt out of Will's back as he takes a step back away from Mockery. So now he has 6 golden translucent wings and looks at his full menacing side. He's like a full foot and a half shorter than Mockery, I'm pretty sure. But with the wings, he looks almost as imposing.
With that, Mockery would stutter for a second. It's canonical that winged things and birds cause a good bit of fear in him, but he'd continue.
You were my first friend. But on that ship we came to here on, you made it clear you were friends with me because you saw me as accursed, afflicted, as if I was trying to get away from the gods. And that is why you stood with me.
And I suppose you're saying I was wrong.
I told you on that ship I wasn't afflicted. I followed gods willingly. Since you made it clear you don't like the gods.
I will say I apologize for misjudging you. I think now I have the full measure of your person. The wings flap once and he floats up for just a second and then he lands back down on the ground again.
That would definitely make Mockery take a step back. And then he looks to Belric as if to say something, as if to counter what he said. But he doesn't. Instead, he gives Belric a nod, as if giving him the point. And there would be some shame in his eyes as he did. And then finally he turns to Wisteria.
I'll think on what you said in particular. But do not think me saying the Gavels have failed is saying you have failed. You did your best. You created a great and powerful faction. It's just, as you said, on that ship. It's meant to be home for anyone. And it is not.
I understand.
With it,
So, according to the bylaws of the Gavel that I finished fleshing out about a week ago, should a member of the leadership vacate their seat in order to maintain an odd number and ensure our votes have a tiebreaker, there must be 5 members in the leadership. But also to vote up a new member to the leadership should commence as soon as possible. But fortunately, with the way things have worked out, you'll have 3 votes so you won't have to worry about any ties there. She grabs her bag and puts her books in and say, so Mockery, Will said we have a day. We should probably get moving.
Mockery would not.
So Asteria's leaving with Mockery.
She'll turn back to Will and Belric and say, I wish you the best of luck. You'll do much better without me.
Will looks surprised but resigned.
I mean, Belric looks to Wisteria as the most knowledgeable person, and Jita's the leader, and obviously Will's kind of the face. So he's kind of taken aback. Wisteria, you don't have to do this. We need you in the Gavel. The Gavel's you helped create this. I mean, we must continue to protect the weak. And we can keep doing that. If you go off with Mockery, there's nothing but chaos in your future.
There's been nothing but chaos in my past or my present. Yes, I created this, and she gestures to the other members of the Gavel, but also I created this and gestures towards Mockery, referring to the situation that we're dealing with right now. I invited Shinzo Z to talk with him. I made a deal with him to communicate with Mockery, and that has caused nothing but problems for us. We would be in a much better situation if I hadn't made that mistake. And as long as I'm a part of the Gavel, there's a risk of something of that degree or worse happening again. And as Mockery said, this is not a place where everyone is welcome. And if Mockery is not welcome here, then certainly I am not either.
Mockery will place a hand on Wisteria, and you can see in his eyes there is a very serious look.
I will have you with me, and I would welcome you. Yet at the same time, I understand something. You are the backbone of the Gavel. You did make it, and I do believe there has been failings in the Gavel. But if it is to remake itself, to stand strong, it may need you. And in the case that I do become truly corrupt, and I would need to be put down, as Will, and no doubt Jeet would see to if that were to happen. You are one of the few people I know wholly and fully who would know how to correctly and properly kill me. I would welcome you by my side, but I realize and recognize the Gavel also may need you. And because I love you, I'll ask you, do you want to stay with the Gavels?
Turning her question back on her.
There are, I mean, as I had mentioned, and you had mentioned the mockery, all is not lost. We can rectify this, but we just all need to be on the same page. We can't have these rogue scenarios and these juxtaposing actions. Yeah, that's it. We can't have these.
Been on the same page, Beric. We've all wanted different things, different ways to bring about our orders. And as we followed through with our actions, they've been conflicting. And that's led to conflicting actions again and again and again.
Wisteria's nodding along with this.
As you guys look around, especially as Will's angelic light cast off, there's this bright light creating deep shadows. You see smiles in the shadows.
Mockery points to her and says, very loudly,
Shut the fuck up! We're having a moment here! I'll get to you later.
The wings would probably furl back in now because they only actually last 3 rounds from that spell.
And we all see that.
If you looked around and kind of the shadows within the room, and even as they fade, you can kind of see as the light fades, you can still see some of the shadows remain with a smile within.
Make no mistake, Mockery. Everything I said earlier, I still believe in. I'm not resigning myself to get murdered by my friends like you are. I'm coming with you to heal you. I'm not going to give up on you.
Well, Wisteria, I wish you good luck.
Yeah, I mean, we can overlook the first promise that we've given to Shinzo was we were tricked into, but the second one was blatantly done, and it was blatantly done when we were all trying to avoid it. So, you know, if this is the person that you need to save and chain yourself to, then so be it.
I mean, it's perfect, right? I'm the only other one with a favor still owed to Shinzo, and so this way the Gavel is completely free from his influence.
This is true. And though right now I will admit my path on this seems rather set, if there is anyone who can find a different way, that given more time, find a different way for me, I do believe it would be Wisteria. I just don't see how it's possible now with the Gavels as they are.
Will's gonna turn to Belric. We need to start talking about who's gonna. I still think, yes, we talked. She mentioned the odd number, but I think 5 is a better number than 3.
you see
I've
Mockery come up and put some scrolls on the table, some writing.
I have taken the liberty of doing my best to try and find others that would fit in the gavel if my spot was removed, or Jeets, or Willis. There are some options here.
Plenty of fine
They do
folks
not
around
hold
here.
my morals or beliefs.
Well,
I
that's a
tried to match
plus.
But it,
What did he say?
I said, well, that's a plus. Sorry.
Mockery stops for a second. He looks half insulted, but he does actually laugh at that. Like,
fair enough. Fair enough. I tried to find people who could match up with the gavel's morale. Now, with all this terrible speech done with, I say we do not treat this day as adversaries. We don't be at each other's throats. This might very well be our last day as friends. Let's drink, be merry. I heard there's going to be some games. Fights. To be more specific.
Or could say, for now, we will remain friends and not adversaries. Until Will, I, and Jeet can come up with kind of the next steps and figure out how we want to announce this to the gavel, I would ask that we create the facade, at least during the gala and the crowning, that all is well within the gavel until we can get everything worked out.
And don't forget that all 5 of us are signed on to that blood pact to rescue Kata. So Maka and I will find our own ways to assist, but we are obligated to help with that, at least to see it through.
So maybe I'll give you more than a day. I'm thinking
Well,
about it.
I mean, do we need their help if Shinzo's going to be involved? Will it be help?
Good point. I don't know.
Ooh.
I say tonight, at the stroke of midnight, right before we all raise a glass to the gavels that once were, and we celebrate it as if it was a life past. And by the morning, all that was of minor hysterias in the gavel shall be taken with us, as if we were never here. Is this amenable?
Very well. I'm gonna go find Jeet. Will just in a need to do something is gonna go find wherever Jeet is and try to update him on the situation using message, not saying any of it out loud.
Balric's gonna like take these notes and like be like, I've got some reading to do. Like, I don't understand our government. I don't know what recommendations just happened. Like, I'm like, oh my god. Like, I'm very overwhelmed. Like,
These
okay.
papers are wow, it's crazy. These papers are recommending new characters that are probably going to be introduced in a future session.
Are those the ones Mockery threw in there? I just meant that's like a foreshadow of like my potential backups rather than everyone's.
Yeah, Wisteria.
Backup that was a part of it. You made.
Wisteria would have had backup prepared if she thought this is how things were going to go.
Perfect. So Will goes off to find Jeet. Balric goes off to read the annuals of the gavel for the first time. Wisteria, Mockery, is there anything that you guys do kind of right after those two leave?
Cry.
Yep.
Mockery's gonna sit down and he's gonna cry. And not like he's the victim in this. It's clear he's just grieving the fact that his path that he's chose has led to what in his mind was the closest he's ever had to family breaking apart. And while he still stands by those choices and paths, though wrong they are, he is going to cry about it. He's going to grieve. So he cries.
and Wisteria does her best to hold it in, as she's never been one to let others see her cry. But if he's paying attention to her at all through his own tears, Mockery would definitely see her start to break down.
Absolutely. And he would hold Wisteria. They would cry.
And just through that, every now and then she says things like, I promise I won't give up on you. We will figure this out. We will find a place where we can have a home.
As you say that last bit, to find a home, especially as you guys have been in this room for a while, it's gotten a little bit darker. And especially as you say, find a home, you see the shadows swirl. And you see kind of like you're pulled into the same realm that you've traditionally only been in your dreams when the rock has reached out. And then you see kind of slowly forming this little starry constellation morphing itself into a halfling with skin as black as night, dotted with scars, and then this Cheshire-like grin upon his face. And he goes, well, that was a day. I had a whole routine plan to fuck with you all, and you fucked with yourselves. But I'm not here to mess with you now. I feel like you guys have made a powerful choice. You don't want to be a gavel. I mean, they kicked you out. There's no home in the gavels. It's a home with us. Everybody's welcome. I think that's one of your things, Wisteria. Everyone.
Narok, as respectfully as I can tell you, as I said before, shut the fuck up and get to the point.
Oh, you ruined me. We're gonna be buddies. I'm still technically your boss too. So I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll get to the point. I'll be nice. I mean, this is a good day. Well, I had a few things. So, you already know he owes us a favor. So I mean, that was gonna be a whole thing. But I mean, he flushed that.
I actually hadn't told them directly that I had owed a favor yet.
Oh.
Only that I had deepened my connection.
I mean, it was kind of implied, right? Oof. Spilled the beans. Okay, well, don't cry over spilled milk. Wisteria, you broke a contract with me. I was going to come talk to you about the contract. I think I even told Angel Boy that we wanted you more than initially Mockery, but Mockery, you're high on the list now. You're both A+ students. Wisteria, I got 3 options for you. You broke a contract. You talk bad about Shinzo to Mockery. I just told you that if you did that, there would be deep personal loss. Very vague. You didn't really ask for clarification. And as Shinzo likes to say, it's always better when people pick their poison. So you got 3 choices. Option 1, my favorite. You join the Hell Knight, or the Chaos Knights. I mean, you're already out of the gavels. You become a full-time Chaos Knight. I mean, you two, match made in the hells. You get to be stay in love. We don't care about love. You guys can do whatever you want to, and you're together. You got the gloves. Everything is gold. That's option A. Option B? Well, this is kind of almost the reverse of option A. That deep personal loss you're talking about. What if you no longer could love Mockery anymore? What if, I mean, you could stay with the gavels, if I had to guess, the only reason Mockery, she's here right now is because she loves you. But if she didn't love you, she wouldn't be here right now. And I could take all that away with a snap of my fingers. That's my second favorite option. I'd love to keep you guys together and just chaos and have fun. I mean, Shinzo, we're so fun down here. But that's second favorite. If there's a boring option, I can just put a wound on your soul. Put you a step closer to death. Maybe the next time you go down, your heart beats just a little bit slower. The blood pours a little bit faster. The option's yours. Hey, I'll even throw in a 2-for-1 special. If you pick 2, your favor's done. And out of games, option C, basically you'd be permanently wounded 1.
Wisteria stands up, but was still with like a hand on Mockery, and with the other hand, like wipes away her tears. No, I'm done playing your games. I will not serve you in any way. I don't care if you're a god or whatever. And she just turns and starts running into a way, trying to get away from the situation.
As you run, the shadows loop, and like you're running your heart out, but you don't see Mockery or Narak getting any further away. Your breath clings to your lungs, your muscles seize, but the scene doesn't shift. And you hear him go, "Well, yeah, normally I'd have to let you go, because I can't keep a soul here against their will. But you broke a contract with me. You gotta pick your poison. I can pick for you. I mean, Shinto likes to have everybody pick, but I can pick too."
Mockery will look to Asteria. And his face, again, is deep in thought, his eyes sharp. He seems conflicted, but for a moment, past any of this implications and connections of Shinto Z, that older look comes to his eyes, and he looks to Asteria.
I would not blame you if you picked option 2. It would free you of this, and you could aid the Gavel however you saw fit.
No, I'm not letting him manipulate us anymore. Nothing. We're not going to do any of his choices. We're going to figure out some kind of way out of this. And she's continuing to like run and get pulled back by the shadows and just fighting at it and refusing to accept the situation as it is until somebody else does something, I guess. But
Mockery puts a hand, the one with the lover's glove, on Mysteria's shoulder.
Do you know how this works? This glove.
you told me about it when you first got it.
Yes. If I love you, then it glows. And if you love me, it glows. Yours. Your side of it does. We both get what we can from it. A little blessing of love.
He takes the glove off and hands it to Asteria.
I will never stop loving you. If I am close, it will glow and warm. But if it is truly the only reason why you stand by me now, that love, I would not damn you. The choice is yours. But I'm sorry, Wisteria. There's no escaping this. You must make a choice.
In one last-ditch effort, she shouts out, "Notisha, please, I want to serve you. I want to heal him. Help me. Help me see the way."
Unfortunately, within the realm of shadows, you don't hear another god's reply. You hear Narak go, "Oh, Lassie, this isn't a favor. This is a contract you signed with an infernal being. Notisha can't help you here.
Uh-oh.
Uh, no.
We can take our break too if you need a couple minutes.
That would help.
Let's take our 5-minute break. I'll come back 8:50 and get into the last bit of this. I didn't expect Mockery and Wisteria to both leave. I didn't expect Mockery to leave. I thought you guys were going to turn around, especially with G. Like I liked his note. I thought that would really help.
Yeah. I honestly did too, but it kind of it went a different way than I thought too. Damn. Caught up in the music, so to speak. Got caught up in the movement of what Mockery would think, what Mockery would do.
We'll figure out how that comes out. Yeah, everybody come back 5 minutes, and we'll get into it. Welcome back, everyone, to a very chaotic session of Pandemonium. We rejoin Wisteria and Mockery in kind of this shadowy, hellish demi-plane where Narak, the Baron of Chaos, this halfling with skin like the night sky and stars shining through it, smiles at Wisteria after putting to her a choice between joining the Chaos Knights, between losing her love for Mockery, or getting an eternal wound to her soul due to her breaking a contract previously established with Baron of Chaos to allow Mockery to speak to both Narak as well as Shinzo Z. But we look back at Wisteria, you see Narak's eyes kind of just bore into you, and he goes, as I said, it's your choice. Or I get to choose, but you don't want me to choose.
See, Narak, what you fail to understand, well, yes, I love Mockery more than anyone else I've met in my entire life. What I do for him is not just because of love, but every decision I make is based on careful analysis of all the knowledge that I've acquired and my best predictions of what the outcomes might be. Wound my soul, take away my love for Mockery, but that's not going to change anything about the way I act towards him in the future.
Oh, we wouldn't think so. We thought it would be fun. You've made your choice?
Yes.
Oh, well, say your goodbyes. Parting always makes it so much sweeter.
She hugs Mockery and just lets the tears come freely in a way that they haven't before. And is not putting any effort into hiding her sadness, but says, I will find a place for you. You will be welcome. Because there needs to be a place for everyone. Know that my love for you has been true and you deserve it, but the person that you're turning towards is the one who took it away from us. And squeeze him tight. Kiss him one last time.
Mockery. He would nod, hold with stereotype, respond simply.
I know you. I have read you. I have seen you. And I will tell you. You are worth it and worthy. More than anyone I have met. Of love, kindness, and family. And I am sorry.
As he says, I am sorry, you see Narak, still Cheshire grin scrawled across his face. He snaps. And Wisteria, first, you feel like this deep ache within your body, like this almost as if someone has cut you with the blade, but you look down and you see there's no wound upon you. You feel this it almost feels like it has been with you forever. It sears across, and for a moment in time, you just know pain. Just this aching pain. And then you see him, like his smile widens, and he snaps again. And the second one, it's a pain of a different sort. You look across the memories that you've had with Mockery. You look across when you first kind of shared your, had first kind of discovered your budding love and attraction for Mockery. You look to the first time that you all discussed it when you were kind of the night you all got drunk during the pre-games for Kosir's Fight for Peace tournament. You look to your first kiss. You look to all of the different moments you all have shared since then. And you even see the moment you signed the contract with Baron Narak. And before, where those moments were kind of filled with love, filled with passion, filled with just warmth. It almost feels like they take the color out of it. Like before, it was full color. Now it almost feels black and white. It feels dispassionate. It feels sterile. You feel all of those emotions kind of just flow away. And you look back at Mockery. You still see, at this moment, a fellow Gavel, someone that you'd probably fight and die for. But where there's once love, where there's once passion, now there's nothing.
If very briefly, could I add one thing to this?
Definitely.
I really like the idea of, as this is happening and we're seeing those memories start to discolor, from the outset, just from the viewer's point of view, the lover's glove, one side slowly fading in light while the other one doesn't.
Nice. Like that. You see Narak looks between you, Mockery, back to Hysteria. And he goes, oof, 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 oof. Well, we've done the thing. Mockery? You ready to go?
There's a deep sigh and a nod.
Yes. I believe I am.
See Narak almost looks expectantly at Wisteria as a portal begins to form on each side. One where Wisteria, kind of behind where Wisteria stands, and the other behind where Narak stands. And he looks back and he waits. He holds out a hand for Mockery, but waits.
She looks to Mockery and says, "The gavel will be a place where everyone is welcome. And if you seek it, you will be welcome. If you do not, then that's your choice."
He turned his head, his eyes looked to Wisteria. Normally, Mockery would have some kind of vernacular, some kind of words, speech, prayer, something. This time it's silence. It is silence, a prick of tears to one eye, but a serious, sharp look. And he'll walk towards his side of the portal. And if I may give the briefest of insights to his mind, he fears for if he speaks, though the Infernals had taken the ability away, that any words could have any spark of possibility of keeping Wisteria with him. And he would not damn her.
You see Narak kind of places a hand up kind of on your lower back. It helps you through the portal, and it kind of goes, "Welcome to the team fully, Mockery, the first of our Chaos Knights. You'll be at home here. There'll be no judgment. You will have freedom to please our master. Because always, the only thing we strive for is to be entertaining." And as he kind of says that last word, he kind of helps you through the portal, and you see it fade. In Wisteria, you're left with a portal at your back, in a realm alone, full of shadows and lost memories.
She's trying to like process this strange effect that's come over her, where she like logically recognizes that she was in love with Mockery and the things that built up to it and the reasonings for it, but also that so much of that is in emotion, and that emotion is now completely absent. And trying to like, I mean, you know, the way her mind goes with like philosophy is thinking about like, what is love really, and is it simply an emotion, or is there more to it than that? But then she starts thinking about what to do next, and realizes the Gavel has a lot of work to do, and we'll head back through the portal, and we'll go try to find Will and Belric to... Actually, no, she wouldn't go find them. She would just write it in her notes and expect everyone to read her notes that this is what happened, and then like tomorrow morning or something, show up as if everyone's aware of the full situation.
It's very lucky that Jeet at least skims them.
Where are we even gonna find it? Because we, as far as we know, you're like leaving, so like we wouldn't even be looking for it. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, because Will went to go find Jeet with the Baron. Well, Duke at this point.
You talked about having information on like how to fight Mockery properly. Would you have asked Wisteria for the notes before she left?
Well, Belric
I was
like the whole like every like
I was
the whole annuals. Yeah,
I was like very overwhelmed. I'm like, I need to figure out this democracy stuff. So
Okay.
if like your pen is like maybe like scrolling or something, I'd be like, what the hell's going on over here? Like that could be.
So I think what would have happened is she would have left all the notes with you, including like the notes up until the moment she left with Mockery, and then I don't know. I mean, you're probably still reading them when she gets back. So then she'd come and just say, "Is this? I give you a wave," and then go to like find today's notes and start adding more notes and not saying it.
I'm looking at this, like examining it, and then I look over here, I look at this, and then I look back and I do a double take, and I'm like, wait,
you're back?
Wisteria, what are you doing back?
Almost done writing the notes. That'll explain everything.
Where is Mockery and why are you here? Can't you just tell me?
Okay, here you go, and hands over the very detailed explanation of everything that happened after she and Mockery left.
My computer restarted, so I don't know what the choice was. So what does this? Sorry.
He's not acting. He really doesn't know.
I had a forced restart. I was like, this is perfect for me because I can like just.
Yeah. So she basically her reasoning was that while she loves Mockery more than anyone else she's met in her entire life, she doesn't make decisions based off of emotion. She makes them off of logic and reasoning and the information she has. And so she believes that even without the emotion of love, she can still. The best course to getting to the state where Mockery is free from Shinzo-ji is for her to take this choice, and her logic and reasoning will help her figure out a solution to this, even without love being there. Probably not going to work, but that's what seemed like the best decision to her. And that's kind of what it explains.
Would she be there while Balric's reading through that?
Yeah, she'd probably be like going through some things and double checking about like electing a new member and how that's going to work and how to break ties now that there's actually going to be 4 people voting and whatever stuff like that. So.
Balric
But
would
like not saying anything or talking about
Yeah, no, it'd be very awkward. Like she would just hand over this piece of paper and be like, "Hey, here's this traumatic experience I just went through," and I'd be like, Balric would be like, "Whoa." Balric would like give an awkward sort of like, "I hope you're okay, but it sounds like you're more concerned with the work that has to be done. It may make sense for me to go reach out to Will and Jeet."
Have you ever been in love?
The love that I have with my family, the love that I share with Bear, that's the love that I've experienced.
And you've never lost love with any of those people before?
I mean, I've lost loved ones, but I haven't lost love like you just had.
And how was that experience for you? Because although I understand it's not quite the same, I think it might give me a good idea on where to start with processing this.
It's one of the worst feelings you can experience. It embodies it encompasses your body. 24/7, you're thinking about that lost love, and that feeling doesn't go away for a very long time. The love that you had, and this will be like a little bit sincerer than he usually is, but he'll be like, we could feel the love that you had with Mockery was a strong bond, and it should take you time to get over it. It's like trying to realize like you're needing help figuring out how you should feel. Yeah.
That seems like a reasonable analysis of the situation, but I think the differences here are pretty key into what's happening, because I don't feel a lot of those things you're describing. I think if there was any, I mean, I noticed something missing and some of the memories are strange, but from what I've read and heard about how people typically react to the loss of a loved one, I don't think that's what I'm going through right now.
It doesn't seem like it, but I don't think it's a fault of yours. I think this is some magic, or this is magic done by Shinzo to alleviate that. So maybe you should be thankful that you're not feeling this sort of loss, but sometimes that loss makes you a stronger person as well. You can, for example, like I lost my brother to Ark, the drug, and you better bet your ass that the people that were slanging Ark back in Dosen are gonna pay for that. So that revenge is something that I'll carry with me. It's something that shouldn't be lost on you. What Shinzo had taken away from you.
Is when you lost your brother, if you could have snapped your finger and made all the pain go away while keeping his memory, would you have done that? Is that why you drink so much alcohol? And she said that with a really straight face.
Yeah, Bear's gonna like kind of like snarl, like he'll be like, "Whoa." The feeling of my brother being around is one of the things that still brings me a lot of joy. The love that I had for him and the bonds that we had make me smile on a daily basis, even though it hurts. So, no, I wouldn't want to get rid of that feeling, because as devastating as it was, it still brings me joy.
That kind of joy could probably be valuable to me. But I still think, looking at all the factors and considering this outcome, I made the right choice. And I think that the gavel will be much better off in the future now that we have no ties to Shinzo Z whatsoever. And I have no intention of forging anymore.
And one thing you notice too, Asteria, and Belric, you notice as well as she speaks, as like her opens her mouth, and typically before had that violet hue, and the mark of Shinzo Z. The mark is gone, the hue is gone. All great.
Yeah, Wisteria, I'm happy to hear that, and I'm happy to report that to the gavel. You are the gavel, and without you, we're really struggling. Will and I were struggling to figure out an identity. I think this was the right choice, but again, there's consequences to it, and we appreciate the sacrifice. Process it, and we've got edicts to follow, and we've got a war to prepare for.
I agree. I'll stick to it.
Balric's gonna like go outside the door, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, like, holy cow, that was like as heavy as Balric's ever been." And he's like, "Oh man." He'll like take like a flask out and then like take a big shot. Like, God.
Belric's like, "Oh man, I almost felt an emotion."
So, yeah, he'll take a big old swig and bring Bear out, and then he'll like kind of start searching for Will.
Perfect. Well, you all have had like a crazy afternoon. Actually,
I think morning.
Morning, yeah. Yeah.
That all
It's
that
not even
happened
noon
like
yet.
at breakfast time, and happened to that couldn't have been more than an hour.
Wait, sorry. My computer restarted still, and maybe I should go back in the room. What happened to Mockery?
Oh
He had
yeah.
a portal.
He went through.
Let me reopen the door. After I take my swig. Yeah. So I'll go get. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
be like the idea of like where's Mockery, and the camera cuts to like Mockery in the shadowy place, like back facing the camera, riding out on the Drake to whatever comes next with sinister music going on.
Oh, what if you are on your? We'll cut to that real quick, because I did have something for that. I was gonna do it at the end of the session, but this
Oh
one.
no!
You do cut back. You do see Mockery. Your armor has changed, and I'll let you kind of describe how your armor has changed. Before, you still had the ruins of your Hell Knight plate, but now they all have a shadowy essence around it. The gone are completely the emblems to the other gods. Just Shinzo, just shadows. Next to you, you see Boro. You see him cloaked in shadow, and you see his hands are made of platinum. And you see him just touching. The shadows consume before you see what happens, but you just see Boro with a gleeful smile with his platinum hands. But ahead of you, you see Narak to the right of the shadowy throne. And in front of him, you see Shinzo Z, this being composed entirely of shadow with tendrils stretching out every which way, almost seeming to writhe, shrink, grow, expand, and contract all at once with no rhythm, no pattern, no reason or rhyme to it. The only thing that's constant is a smile. And he only says one thing in this hellish voice that goes centuries without uttering a word. We have games to play.
Mockery, do you want to leave it on that or leave it on a joke? I'll ask.
Go for it.
Mockery will turn back to Boro, was it?
Boro.
And he'll see you doing that, pick up on what's happening, and just go,
You know you're fucked the next time you go to wipe your ass, right?
You
have
hear
to make fun of Boro, have to bring a laughter to Shinzo.
You see Shinzo smile, Narak even gives a chuckle. And then you kind of see it fading out in this hellish realm filled with shadows. And you kind of see as you go beyond the throne, you see this kind of lost souls kind of just uttered in this kind of chaotic realm, being deceived as they kind of continue their eternal life. But eventually pan back out to where Belric was asking, where's Mockery at? And Wisteria, you can answer that.
So like I'll have gone to like I'll be like Will. Like Will's maybe searching for G. Yeah, and hasn't found him. I'm like, Will, you gotta come back. Shit's hit the fan. And I'll tell him all this stuff, and I feel like Will would be like, wait, where's Mockery in all of this? I don't know. So we'll run back into where the hall or library.
Just see Wisteria there. I'm like, did you change your mind or?
Somebody changed my mind.
Yeah, we don't.
Here's the notes.
You don't have to repeat all the stuff because I was here. But I imagine I eventually get caught up.
But yeah, I think we'll ask. I do want to ask about Mockery because I still don't know the full story. But like, just give me the cliff notes, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he got another portal that he went through, and that was the last Wisteria saw of him. And he was like, I mean, she describes like in detail, not showing any emotion or anything, like the whole exchange with the lover's gloves and everything that Mockery said. And she kind of ends it with like, and I still think the gavel can be a place where anyone is welcome, but he made his choice. And I think in particular, this shows that the gavel can be a place for any person. But gods, on the other hand, are locked into their ideology, and someone like Shinzo Z is antithetical to the edicts of the gavel.
All right, I'm glad we agree on that at least. I was starting to wonder for a little while. I'm going to be honest with you.
I mean, once I saw what he was doing to us, that became pretty clear to me.
I'll like kind of like look over at Will and be like, okay.
I just hope Mockery could see that as well. And it's like,
I always thought that he would eventually, change course, but I suppose I misjudged him.
I still hope the best for Mockery. You guys had these tipping points and these options, both of you, having fallen into this with Shinzo, and you had made the decision to be loyal to the gavel and to choose good. And we saw that Mockery, unfortunately, didn't choose to be loyal to the gavel and didn't choose good. There's still redemption for him, and potentially, but this is where we are, and we need to move forward.
The part that confused me the most was what he was saying, that he wants to see the gavel do good, but our competition is Shinzo Z. Like, sure, we've made some mistakes, but compared to where he's at now, I don't see any room for any kind of good.
Right, I was thinking the same thing. Like, yeah, I'll be the first to admit we messed up a whole lot of stuff, but we're trying. And I don't think Shinzo Z's Chaos Knights are gonna be a force for righteousness and order, which I thought was his whole deal. But I suppose not. It's fine.
Well, we're ridden of those wretched symbols on the two of you.
Thank God. Will would actually like fall into a chair just thinking about it, just like, oh man.
Although we still have a bounty, to me, that bounty and the hell that comes, or the pain that'll come with it,
Right.
nothing compared to the unexpected chaos that Shinzo Z could be bringing at any moment.
Right. To be truthful with you, I'd rather deal with assassins than my insides turning inside out one morning just because it's funny.
I mean, we have dealt with assassins already, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I've been chased by assassins for the past undefined amount of time that Will would know, but Ryan does not, since I left the Luminescence.
I'll be right back, guys. My dog has to go out. My wife's called, so I'll be right back.
All right.
So I think just to keep things going while Tegan's gone, we've got another member to elect.
Yeah.
And then he'll start like pulling up this, and he'll be like,
to choose a new
Yeah.
character.
he'll take,
I'm very curious what you're interested in. I think I remember you mentioning a vampire and Tegan saying, "Don't do that," but I don't remember.
The vampire one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you went from Mockery to a vampire, I'd be like, "You're trying to mess us up, aren't you?"
No, actually, a vampire was actually would be like lawful good. It would be like
Vampires.
no, but I like Blade.
All right, that's
So
cool.
You like Blade? You said.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But I did not prepare the vampire as told.
yeah, we've lost our main front line. Well, I mean, Jeet is also front line, but you know what I mean. Like our.
I'll start looking at the paper. I'll read the profile on skis, and I'll just like crumble it up and throw it over my. Nope. Read about Rodan. I'm like, this guy sounds kind of like an ass.
Yeah, I've met him a few times. He's a great sailor. I learned a lot of sailing techniques from him, but
It's like a lot of notes in red from Bashnet. He's like terrible.
I don't know what their problem is. Like, they seem to really not like each other.
Yeah. Russia does not recommend this guy.
I can give my ideas a very brief run through, but I will say everything and anything I say is up for change because I need to get everything approved by Tegan first, and I've got nothing to him yet for backup.
I'll say we hold off on that for now. Perfect. Well, I'll put it up to the group. Do you guys want to do the crowning for the Baron tonight? Get a little more information on your influence thing for the next day? Or do you want to call a session for today?
I think the answer kind of depends on what makes more sense to have Mysteria or Jeet around for. Because, I mean, I can like take notes for the crowning, but if it's make more sense for Jeep to participate in that and then do the next part next session. Then. Might be a good
I think it works either way.
I'm open either.
I already made a hard decision today, so y'all get to decide.
I'm good with continuing today, personally.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. We made a tough decision, but yeah, let's end on a different note, I think.
Perfect. Well,
Wait, before we move on, can I mention one brief thought on Mockery's fate?
definitely.
Damn, the moment he said he was with Shinzo, Shinzo said it was time for some games. I won't spoil anything, any thought, anything like that. All I'll give it is the meme. Brother's cooked.
The meme what?
He's cooked.
Oh, he's cooked. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely cooked.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, a life of no freedom, no judgment, as long as you're entertaining. I mean, that's
Jesus.
a life. But eventually, you guys have probably had the worst morning of your lives at this point. Like you guys, well, at least Belric and Will are late risers, so it may be like mid-morning now, since you guys were able to meet up. But eventually, you do see one of the kind of the royal squires come up and just kind of like back Ramrod straight goes, "Gavels of Assar, you are invited to the crowning of Duke Leslie Royce and Duchess Persiana Royce as he steps into the barony for Kata. Please put on your best and finest finery and join us at the center of the war camp to celebrate our liege lord."
A fancy party, hooray.
Right up Will's alley.
I have an ability. I don't. Although in this case, I have an ability specifically good for pretending to be a noble, but I am just trying to be myself this time. So I won't use that one this time, but maybe another time.
Perfect. Well, after you guys, or if you change or desire to change, you're able to kind of get changed into your finery, and eventually brought to the center of the war camp where there are tables laid out with feast and kind of food, plenty, wine, red wine pouring, cask of the Fessine pale ales, and even bourbons exported from Materia, and other just kind of drinks and food, plenty. You see roasted kind of exotic animals. You see a bit of chimera roasting on a spit, mixed with kind of this kind of just Greek and just kind of herby vegetable, as well as like kind of seafood vibe, with this kind of just very milky food. And you see just food just kind of decked across there. But you do see in the center of the war camp kind of raised up this terrace. But before you kind of make your way there, you do see Perocles kind of comes to you, the chief diplomat for Kata, and he gives you kind of a deep nod, and he goes, "Gavels, my friends, the Duke Leslie Royce would like to speak with you before his crowning. I know Jeet is training with the Duke's men. Where's your other one? Where's Mockery?"
Good question. What are we telling them for now? He's taking a leave for the day. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to join us.
No worries. The Duke actually will probably be pleased to hear that. And he looks like Mysteria and Will, and he goes, "Oh, it looks like, are you glamoring this, Will, or have you cleansed yourself?"
Oh. He reacts as though he's just had like his outfit complimented. Like he's like, "Oh, this whole thing." Oh, I suppose I almost completely forgot that it would be obvious to other people, but we have freed ourselves from the influence of Shinzo Z.
Oh, the Duke will be most pleased to hear this.
I must say I am most pleased myself.
Oh, well, please come this way. He wishes to speak with you briefly before the crowning. And he kind of like leads you all to the inside of the tent where you see Duke Leslie Royce in this kind of ornate purple and gold outfit with a cape behind it. Kind of his outfit covering up both the scars he received on his face from the burn, as well as his prosthetic leg. Next to his wife, the Duchess Persiana, as well in kind of this purple and gold gown with glimmering jewels. You see the Duke greet you with the closest he's come to a smile. You see his stern face, like almost like near smiling, but definitely a very pleasant tilt to it. Especially as the Pericles kind of leans in and whispers a few things in his ear. And he looks at you and goes, "Gavels of Asar. It seems like today is due for two celebrations. First, my crowning, but second, you all have freed yourself from a fiendish god. You have my respect and congratulations."
We appreciate it. It did not come without sacrifice, but I think I speak for all of us when I say that we are much more comfortable this way without having that sort of threat looming over our heads all the time.
That's good to hear. Initially, I desired to speak with you because I heard news that Queen Zaina of Cordinia had declared you persona non grata and placed if I have to be blunt, an enormous bounty upon you.
You heard about that already. Interesting. That it's a long and complicated story, but unfortunately, the freeing ourselves from Shinzo Z is the cause for that.
Some, especially with their army depleted, in need of funds, may turn their back upon you. But you see him to give a smile and look at his wife, the Duchess Persiana, and you see a true smile kind of cross his face. And he goes, "But you brought my wife back to me. As I told you the first day you came into my service, as long as you serve loyally, you will be protected here. As much as my protection can be extended to you, you will have it."
We appreciate that very much.
See, he nods and kind of looks and goes, "Tomorrow will be a heavy day with the gala. We will need your charm. We will need your skills. We need allies. We need fighters. We need warriors. We need mages. We need those who will spill blood for Kata. In doing so, I know you all don't fight for Kata out of being native sons or having your blood tied to the land. I know you have your own goals, but one of your aims is gold. For every battalion strength, every threshold you can push us beyond, I will give you all 2,500 gold. There are many within Thessia with strength. The more that you can bring to bear, the more resources we have on our side when we go to war.
Well, thank you very much. That's very generous of you. I assure you, we will put it to good use in service of the Cotton Offensive.
You see, he nods and smiles and goes, "Once it is yours to spend, but I am pleased to hear that you'll use it to help us retake our homeland. But unless you have any questions or anything for me, I think it's probably time for us to be crowned." And you do see his wife kind of looks over to you all again and smiles, and just kind of this true heartwarming smile. And she goes, "And to aid my husband, I do truly want to extend my deepest gratitude. Those were some dark days inside the Giant's Keep, but you all freed us. Not only would we have you serve us throughout this war, but we would like to find a place for you in Kata, if you would have it, after war's end, after we've retaken our homeland.
Sorry, I missed a little bit of what you said. What happens after we've taken the homeland?
She said she'd find a place for you within Kata.
Well, that is very kind of you. Truthfully, our future is a bit uncertain at the moment, and I think it is likely that we will have to head along on the next part of our journey. But who knows? Like I said, future's uncertain. Maybe it'd be better for us to stay here. It's something we'll have to figure out as we go. But I can't thank you enough for your generosity. We could really use it right about now, to be honest.
And you see her she raises her head and she goes, "Oh, I apologize, Will. Even if you leave Kata, we would offer you your own place. We would offer you land to build a keep. With the retaking and with the damage the giants have done, some of our nobles and some of our lords have not survived. And some who have survived have not proved as loyal as we'd wish. You all, so far, have proven your worth, and if you continue to do so, we would be glad to have a place for you within our island."
So you're speaking of titles rather than a place to stay. Well, that is something I hadn't even considered. Again, thank you so much. I look over at like between Belric and Wisteria, like
Belric he'll come forward and he'll be like, "Aye, my lady," and he'll bow, and then he'll say "This bear is from these islands, and we could eventually make a good home here. Thank you."
You see, she smiles at the bear and she goes, "All the beasts of Kata are always welcome. So think it over, but know that with good service, with the retaking of our homeland, this could be your home as well."
Okay.
With that, you do see Pericles kind of running and go, "Oh, well, we must keep it moving, sire. We need to get you crowned and prepared for tomorrow's events." Remember, everyone, smiles, because, sire, you know I've told you this before, but you do not always make friends. So smile today, smile tomorrow, and hopefully allies will join us. You kind of see with that, he shoos or kind of gestures you guys back to the crowd, pushes or not, kind of curries along the Duke and the Duchess. And you guys are sat at a pretty well prominent table, kind of opposite end of the Adamantium Renegades and Velnu, where great food, great drink are provided. And you do see eventually Pericles, along with a priest of Sanda, a priest of Nutwai, as well as a priest of Hava, coronate Duke Lesse Royce and pronounce him the new Baron Lesse Royce, Baron of Kata, and eventual liberator of the homeland.
as soon as we're out of earshot, we'll just say, "Damn, I forgot to ask him if they're in 2,500 each or for all of us." I always forget to ask that.
Well, hopefully we can recruit enough battalions so where we get plenty of funding for each of us. Whichever way it is.
He definitely would have given you like a little slip, or Pericles would pass you a slip later. It is 25 for the group.
All right.
Perfect. With that, you are able to, for any that are willing or up for it after the hellish day you have had, there are drinks, food aplenty. But does the group do anything else on this day before you all kind of make to set sail and head to the island of the center.
I think Will at this
Briefly
kind of
want to
event.
point out Hellish Day. The word
Oh,
day
yeah.
there.
Wow.
Unintended.
I think Will is sort of in his element, and his deception score is quite high. So I think he's pretty good at like hiding his sort of the sort of day that they've had already, and he's just mingling. I think he would probably, in particular, try to just make friends with the. I mean, they've met. They've had a lot of. I think our relationship with the Adamantium Renegades could be described as complicated, perhaps. I would like to improve that relationship a little bit, maybe. Just try to have somebody not hate us. Like, we don't, with Velnu specifically, I think in particular, we're just like, Velnu just does not like us anymore. But I think with the Adamantium Renegades, that relationship could be salvaged. I think.
Were they the ones who questionably may have killed the Duke?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And with Velnu, you guys are the ones that, because you guys went hard on Velnu. You guys knew that he was kind of mad at you, and then like the day you guys got drunk, you guys went in on him.
Was that the session I wasn't here for? What happened?
That was such a
great.
The group got drunk, and it was like, well, Velnu's kind of bad, so like, what's this?
Because Velnu was the one who wanted the airship plans from us, right? I'd like to share some drinks with the Adamantium Renegades and kind of not directly asking them, but kind of guide the conversation to say like, oh yeah, you heard about that queen unleashing weapons of war or whatever. Try to clue in and see if I can figure out if the Adamantium Renegades know about the bounty on us or not, without telling them if they don't know.
They would actually bring it up to you. Like, it's in the paper. It's in like the Moklin Press and pretty much like all of the major papers.
That makes sense.
You'd actually hear Arog kind of grunt, especially as you two come over, and it goes 25,000.
We seem
you really are
going
for ourselves. You really are.
You want it? Come and take it. We're right here.
We got a contract. Told you before, renegades don't break contracts. Contract's done. Right now, we're on the same side.
Well, I hope we can continue to be on the same side for a long time to come.
You see, he raises the glass. It goes, never take a fight you can't win. Never take a fight you don't get paid for.
I'll drink to that.
You see Cavett go kind of like, he's in his shrunken form now with the ring upon him, and he kind of just goes, I do want to fight you guys again, but I don't want to kill you yet. Jeet, hold me a rematch.
Sorry, remind me, Jeet is not able to attend this meeting, right?
Yeah, Jeet's pretty much out there drilling right now with the new Red Phalanx and the Kingsman.
Yeah, okay. Hey, you know what? I think Vijit might feel the same way about it, but maybe ask him about it. I don't want to speak for him.
I find the fireman, and I beat him next time. But then he tried to beat me again, and then we keep it going. And you see a Rock just kind of shakes his head, and he goes, that'll be good. As long as we don't got a contract on him. We contracted now to be allies. We don't break our contracts, but 25K spins real good, especially when you guys don't got a crowd cheering for you. So may our contract never end.
Ah, man. Well, I was hoping we might call ourselves friends at least, but who knows? We'll see.
I like you guys. You got spunk. But you don't got 25,000 though.
No, I
Oh,
can't
do
say
you?
I do. No.
We'll defend you if you got 25K.
No, unfortunately, that is beyond our means at the moment. But hey, maybe by the time our current contract is up, maybe we will. Who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
I mean, I have a pretty detailed itinerary for our next month of operations, but you know, things happen, things change. Certainly,
Come in with some gold. I'd rather fight with you than against you. Highest. Chevelle can work something out.
Yeah, maybe he could. Thinking internally, like, Velnu's probably not willing to work something out with us, but who knows?
How much would it cost to hire you to kill Velnu?
You see, Rog looks offended. He goes, why the hell did we kill Velnu? He's been our best client.
So high enough?
He's found a steady work. What are you offering?
I was just trying to understand the level of allegiance you have with him and your how much you value. I mean, you worked with him a while. I'm also from Mokoin. We see everything as a price tag. That's all we're talking.
Let's say you offer us that 25K. We'll do it, man. Otherwise, he's been a golden goose for us. Got us this contract here that's been paying us nicely. Got us to that tournament that paid us nicely. Got us a new fancy boat from Oakland, as well as some weapon deals. He's been good to us.
I wish I could say the same of his relationship with us, but I'm glad we're able to keep things civil between our two organizations.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's that we don't got a contract against you. You guys are pleasant folk. Good to have a drink with, to play games with. I mean, I wouldn't say you're good people, but you're fun people.
I think you forget we defeated you in the tournament.
The crowd clapping and Kosir's magic. You know, it wasn't a fight for the, fight to the death.
Oh, okay. You talk.
more-
You lot talk a big game. Just remember, we're the champions.
Yeah. You know, some people say it's a whole Shinzo thing. I don't want to play that card, but you know what? Anytime. I mean, the Duke the Baron doesn't like us fighting, but we call it a training exercise. But I said, I like you guys. You fight, you drink, you don't get too caught up in it. And I don't want to have to fight you. So I said, man, our contracts never run out. May we never have to clash for real.
That is my sincere hope.
Rick raises a glass. Toast.
You see, he raises his glass back at Toast, goes, where's the loud one? I mean, usually he'd be bellowing out something now.
Indisposed at the moment. Had to, Jeet and Mockery had to attend to, the rest of our followers to make sure that, everyone's trained up and ready to go for the coming conflict.
That's smart. If you need to borrow Kavik, we've been training our men how to fight giants. He's been doing a good job at it, too. Wouldn't mind letting them throw a few clubs at your little red shirts.
We just might take you up on that offer. A lot of training to do. They're quite fine folks, but some of them, not all of them, some of them, a bit wet behind the ears.
Don't we know it? The villain has been having us recruit a lot, and a lot of these newbies barely know which way to put the spear.
Yeah, when it comes to a lot of the folks joining up are just folks from Kata who just kind of happen to find themselves here because their home was taken from them. So it's our job to make sure they're ready to take it back.
Good idea. Good idea. People fight better when they got a cause.
Precisely.
I don't want to get in your operations, but that's it. A good share to drink with you lot today. He kind of raises another glass, and then you see he kind of tears it to like a hunk of the chimera meat. And then kind of with the gavels, you guys have your own little table. Is there anything else you all want to do today?
Quick question for the group. Do we tell the Baron that we know? I kind of feel like I kind of want to, but also I don't really actually know what there would be to gain from doing that. You know what I mean? I feel like it would be a fun
Wisteria. Yeah, this is a Wisteria strategy thing.
I think it would be fun to do that, but I actually don't really think we would gain anything. And in fact, it would probably be worse for us to let him know that we know, because then that makes us a liability.
Oh, that's what you wanted to let him know about. I thought you wanted to let him know that Mockery left.
That we are waiting until tomorrow to make that public knowledge.
Okay.
The fact that
we're gonna say,
but
my current plan is to let everybody know. Oh, during the night we found out that one of our.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, okay. I don't think we should let them know. Hey, by the way, we know how you got here. Yeah,
that's what I was talking about. My bad.
Okay, I just assumed it was the Mockery piece, but
yeah. I mean, Wisteria in this state of mind will be a little more bring up the idea that Mockery still has the life contract to help retake Kata, so he's going to be around here doing things. How I don't know. Well, and now she's kind of pondering maybe Shinzo Z has a way to break that contract another way, but it is possible that if we tell everybody to kill Mockery on sight, that could be an asset that Kata is losing in its current efforts and would make our goals more difficult.
True.
So
people are going to ask why he's not around anymore too. So we got to tell them something.
Well, sorry, what was that, Steven?
What level of trained are you in religion? Are you expert or higher?
Don't remember. Expert.
Yeah, you would know that many gods can break a contract, but Shinzo's famous for it.
Okay. So I can basically assume that Mockery is not bound by that anymore. All right, so I'll explain that instead to the group and say, yes, I see no harm in sharing the specifics of what happened with the Duke so that he's properly prepared for any further influence from Shinzo Z and what's going on here.
I think let's wait until tomorrow.
But as for the thing we witnessed in our mission before, the only situation I can perceive is one in which the Duke's feels like he owes us, it would give us some leverage over the Duke, and I don't think we should push at that. But if he knows that we know, that might lead us to maybe him treating us a little bit better.
I'm worried that it also makes us a liability. We know something we're not supposed to know. It might be better for him to make us disappear if that's the case, which he has already proven he's willing to do.
Yeah, I think let's hold our cards closer to our chest right now. There's no,
like I said, I can't really think of a good reason to do it.
It would be
I just thought it would be fun.
In the spirit of tonight, let's get chaotic, but no.
I mean, the Duke is our ally, and having being open and sharing with information with him only seems to me to be a benefit. If we're not on the same page and we're keeping information from him that may be useful for his planning, that might cause further detriments.
Right, but I'm like, how is this useful for his planning? I don't know. See, that I think it's useful for his planning in terms of his plan to take control of Kata. So it's like useful. I don't want to make it useful for him to get rid of us, which I think it might do.
Okay.
But yeah, just keep it in our back pocket. Maybe later it becomes necessary. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's a nice back pocket thing.
And, on one hand, if they're concerned about him making us disappear, the Adamantium Renegade's still here, and they're the ones who did it.
Well, they're the ones who did it, so.
So if he wanted everyone who knows to disappear, he'd start with them.
Yeah, that could be true. We'll observe what happens to them.
Perfect. So suddenly the group's come to a decision of not telling him about knowing about his dad, or the assumption that he had his father killed, and then telling him about Mockery in the morning, just hoping he has a good night, and sneaking that one in before heading over to the gala.
Yeah, sounds like the plan.
You guys are able to either spend the night mingling, spend the night reveling, or even kind of make a hasty kind of retreat back to the balancing act. Just spend your night in peace. But either way, the night passes. Unless anybody has anything, I think that's where we're going to end our session.
Yeah, I think we need Jeet, man.
I feel bad because Jeet wrote out this really nice thing, and I'm like, this would be cool. I was looking for the perfect spot to use. I thought I found a good spot. I'm like, oh.
You did. No, it was good. It was good. Yeah.
I'm still to blame Jeet. I'm like, Jeet, your note went over like a lead balloon.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah.
I personally am very excited to see what Burger's playing next.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sorry it worked out this way, but I think we all kind of played our characters pretty true, so.
Yeah, great RP, guys. You all played your characters very true. I was hoping the intervention would work, but it definitely played out well. Go ahead, Burger. I cut you off.
No, I was saying yes, indeed, to the character bit, but goddamn, was this a good session? A bit heartbreaking to seeing Mockery go.
I know.
Serious not giving up on him yet.
True. He's not gone yet.
Tegan. Oh wait, are we still on air?
We are. Is there anything
I'll wait for this until we're off air to not give spoilers to any viewers.
Perfect. Well, everybody join us. We've got next week off, so we'll be back on the 29th? Yeah, 29th of May. So make sure to come back and join us as we probably meet Burger's new PC, which is a gala, like a influence mission. It's a weird one to introduce a new PC. So I may alter that a little bit. It's sort of the influence mission, but we may have like a session in between, because that does feel like a weird one to throw them into. But yeah, so join us. I gotta do some planning and figure out how we'll do next session. But as we get further into the War for Kata arc, so make sure to join us on the 29th, and we'll see you all next time.